Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Community Collective Podcast. I am Johnny B. Good, the producer and co-host of this amazing podcast focused on your local community and issues that affect us. I'm excited to bring a new format where we are sitting down in person with our guest as opposed to the Zoom calls that we were doing previously. This allows us to enjoy a longer format and really have much more of an open and engaging conversation with our guests. Now, because of that, we would like to ensure that we keep our episodes timely, somewhere between the 25 to 35 minute range. Well, given the fact that this was almost an hour-long conversation between my co-host Travis and the Davison Township Parks and Rec Director, Casey Reed, we felt that it was most prudent to split this into 2 episodes. So with this episode, if you have not listened to part 1, we're going to jump right back into the conversation. So if need be, feel free to go back to the previous episode to get caught up, and let's get back into it with Travis and Casey discussing the fall programs for the Davison Township Parks and Rec. As always, thank you for listening. Be sure to rate, like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate your time and look forward to bringing you more conversations that matter.
Well, and I think, too, you guys also do some fun things where other organizations will host events your way. And I think that's the great thing about you all is, you are a community park, and so organizations are able to host events. They have to go through and talk to you guys and reserve space and time. But I think that's the nice thing, too, is it seems like there's so many groups that want to be part of either Lake Callis or Robert Williams or go to the kitchen school.
So yeah, we have that all the time. As you know, we partner with the Chamber and we hold the festival out at the Lake Callis property, but we also work with different charities that want to do walks and runs out at our parks. We also have the very popular Arctic Splash coming back with Ireland's Dream. So if cold baths is your thing, then you might want to make sure that you log on to the Ireland's Dream website there in February and register for that. So that's a great partnership where we come together with the fire department too, because we have to have the fire department comes out and graciously cut the ice for us if we need it. They're in there in their wetsuits, to be out there in the water to keep us all safe.
Well, and I loved it too because, not only are there individuals just doing the Arctic Splash by themselves, but there's teams. Like the Parks team has done it. I noticed Chris Graff and his team were out there, and we kind of waited for everyone to get out there. I don't know how he stayed in there so long.
I don't know how he did either. He walked very slow.
You're bringing together so many people for a fun event like that, but you're also promoting other groups that are coming in.
Yeah, and supporting these different charities that we have in our community. So we have, multiple events like that taking place throughout the year. We have multiple organizations reaching out to us, whether it's a big event or it's just a small event that they want to come out. I know we've worked with the GHS and having them come out for days at Lake Callis over the summer. And we've worked with different organizations. Like we'll have the Trail of Lights. We'll have a group come out for an autism night that they put together.
Well, even in the past couple years, you guys have been a great location for Genesee County Veteran Services. They hold the Veterans Resource Rally. I know they move it around the county, but I know a couple years they had it at Lake Callis, and it's a great place because it was veterans focused. Veterans and their families could come, enjoy Lake Callis. The Veterans Services offered resources. Come get shoes. Come get your, DD-214 and everything. But it's because they knew Lake Callis was a central spot. I feel like they know the Parks Department, people know about you all, and they recognize how important that was to people coming from outside the area too.
Yeah, and they've even been reaching out to us saying, hey, we miss you, because they're somewhere else this year. And we're like, we miss you guys too. Best of luck this year at your event. But hopefully we'll see that come back as they move it around.
I think I think it's good for them to move it around, but I know I'm always excited when things are in Davison
of course
as well, because it draws it here. But yeah, it is. No, they offer so many great things. And I think that's the thing that's most exciting about the Parks Department is, the Chamber not only partner with you all and by reserving Lake Callis, but we've had their Chamber board meetings at different locations. And I think this is a great opportunity because we've had several board members that hadn't had a chance to be in the kitchen school. And that was a neat opportunity for them to explore that. But then we also had it at the Robert Williams property at the Historical Museum there. And we were able to take a few minutes just to kind of explore and check everything out. And I think the exciting part in the Soper Center too. Not only do you get the beautiful view, we can walk around a little bit, but I think for us as a chamber, it's a great opportunity just to constantly introduce our board members and other members to what you guys are offering too.
When groups do that, we have the schools come out and they do some of their professional development out at some of our properties.
Yes.
That's a great way for those teachers to come out and get a feel for the properties. Like I said, we have a partnership with them for field trips. The district covers it so that there's no classroom expense for the teachers. They can come out there free and spend the day. They get to do a field trip. They don't have to pay for busing. They don't have to pay for the materials. We even have Deanna, our naturalist, meets them out there and helps to guide them through whatever program or curriculum that they're trying to cover while they're out there. She actually will help them develop that program and walk them through it.
Well, and I think that's a great emphasis too when we're talking about outdoor activities and getting individuals the physical and mental well-being of being out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like we're both parents, and we know the importance of our kids being in the classroom and learning, but so many kids learn in different ways.
Yeah.
And I think the field trips to a local park, not only are they learning, but they're outside.
Yeah.
And I've been up there before, I think, to drop something off to you guys when it's been a huge school group up there. And it's amazing to see, though, because the kids are excited.
They are.
And I think, once again, a great partnership to get students learning in different atmospheres.
Absolutely.
And I think it's beneficial. And I think you all realize that, but also the schools realize that value of that partnership.
They do. And it is so exciting. I've been out there and helped to guide some of the hikes before. And I remember one of our hikes, there was an owl that was actually out, and we spotted it during the day.
Look
up into the
there.
trees so that they could see exactly where it was. And the look on some of their faces, it just melts your heart. And then some of those kids went home and told mom and dad, hey, I saw an owl.
I saw an owl. And they
like, how many people can say that they saw an owl out in the woods?
And if you're like our kids, they're like, okay, we need to go back there if I can show it to you.
They do, yeah.
They can find it. It's like, I think that's that excitement you build.
Is.
And they're going home and wanting to share that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And we're even super excited. We do have a local school that we're currently working with. I can't really announce it yet because it's not official, but we are working on the possibilities of developing a nature-based program for the school and the preschool program. So we're super excited about that.
Okay.
We're kind of dabbling in what we can do and how we can make that grow and how we can implement that. They would come out like weekly. It'd be part of their curriculum, or maybe weekly, monthly, something like that. It would be a regular thing where they're constantly coming out and developing and implementing nature-based learning into their curriculum. So we're super excited about that. And we started working on that this spring and meeting up with them. We think it'll probably take us this school year to kind of develop what that plan and program would look like and what the curriculum would look like, meeting the needs. But we're hoping possibly in the fall of 25 that we may be able to launch that program with them. So
I'm kind of jealous that I'm glad my kids are older and very self-sufficient on a lot of things, but kind of jealous about opportunities that younger kids might have for that outdoor learning.
My kids would have been all over that.
Yes, I know. Well, Charlie, when he was younger, did pollywogs.
Yeah.
And that was a great introduction to so many different types of animals and in nature in general. But if that was part of his school.
Yeah. How amazing would that be?
I know. It would be. Can you start an adult learning opportunities like this?
Yeah.
Get a little break from work and go.
We all need that.
Yeah. So I think that one of the important parts that you kind of mentioned a little bit was that the accessibility and inclusion is such an important thing, and we need more opportunities for people in our community and surrounding communities. So, Casey, can you discuss how the Davison Township Parks and Rec ensures that your programs are accessible and inclusive to all community members, including those with disabilities?
Yeah, absolutely. The Parks Department, we prioritize accessibility and inclusivity by trying to implement a wide range of programs designed to accommodate all community members, including those with disabilities. We're always looking for new ways to improve and ensure the park facilities are accessible and sensory friendly, and just trying to meet the diverse needs that we have here in our community. This is honestly one of the reasons that we have kept the drive-through trunk or treat. That was a program that we transitioned to during COVID because we couldn't have the touching and being too close and things like that.
Yeah.
But we learned from feedback from families affected with autism and other supportive needs that they really appreciate this event because they can remain in their vehicles, and it eliminates many of the barriers that they typically need to overcome when they're participating in other events. So every year when we're doing this event, we're like, oh, do we keep doing it? We go back to thinking about that and what an amazing opportunity that provides for them. We also, I think I briefly mentioned it before, we partner up with another group, E-Sensational Golf for a Cure, and try to offer a night for families with autism at the Trail of Lights. So we keep the music down lower. They are out there. It's, less public is out there. So it's just, smaller group for them so that they're not overstimulated. And we allow them to walk the trails. They can kind of come and go as they want for the hour or 2 hours, I think, that we have it open for them. So if they only get part way and come back and then want to try it again, they can. So it's up to them to use, to make it their own night. That nonprofit organization that we work with, they usually provide hot cocoa for them and try to make it a fun night. We usually have the fire going. So if they want to stand by it, they can. The new sport courts that we're putting in, I kind of mentioned that as well. Those will be accessible, and they're also going to increase the accessibility at Lake Calais because we'll have a walking path that it will be accessible up to the Grand Pavilion, so it'll connect. So it's going to help, like I said, it's going to help the accessibility at the lake. It's adding in handicap parking over at those courts. We've already been talking with the Disability Network briefly and GHS about programs that we can partner on with them to provide additional programming for individuals and families with supportive needs. So we're always trying to seek feedback from the community and improve and address the accessibility barriers, anything that we can. So we're trying to do that, and we, offer the community the opportunity to come in and talk to us if there's something that you see that we're missing. Like, we need that. And that's, again, goes back to the recreation plan as well, where that feedback can be taken. But you can come into our office anytime if you think that there's something that we can do.
And I think that's the great thing about you all, as I've become more involved and gotten to know your team more, is you guys really do have a great open door policy.
Absolutely.
I mean, not only people are coming up there to maybe purchase like an annual pass or splash pass stuff, but they're coming up there to either share their concerns or ideas, or, even if it's a complaint, you guys want to learn from these things. And I think you have to deal with a lot of individuals from all different type of backgrounds, but you try to find ways that you can improve the parks and what's going on by talking to people and listening. One example, I know the dog park, it's always heavily used. I know when I drive by, there's always people up there. And you guys have worked really hard. I'm sure it's difficult with the way it's located to put inside, to help out a little bit with how the water seeps down, stuff like that. But you're listening to the individuals that are there. Yeah. And a lot of times you get good volunteers as well that say, hey, we're willing to help out at the dog park. Or you'll get someone that really cares about Williams that wants to volunteer. But I think this kind of opened up everything for accessibility and inclusion. I think you guys have really listened to people because there is a huge need for it in our area, especially I think as the population grows more, there's more and more people that are moving here or involved here. And I think your example of the trunk or treat, it makes sense. Not only can you be comfortable in your car and feel that safety, but there's also that mobility. If you can be in a vehicle that makes it a lot easier for your child to participate in everyday activities that their friends are, I think you guys are very open to these ideas and want to find ways for that. And I think that's what makes you guys such a great community hub in a way, is that people want to be there and want things to have their families be part of, and you guys are working to get that.
Oh, thank you so much. We do try, and we do have an open door policy. I mean, we don't know about stuff sometimes unless somebody tells us. So we appreciate when people come to us and they're, calm, courteous about their, because we understand things are going to happen. I mean, we're overseeing 6 different park properties, hundreds of acres of parkland. So we ask for a little bit of grace. And they do. But we try to get on it. Safety, obviously, safety is a huge concern. If something comes to us and it's a safety concern, we try to get on it right away. Like you mentioned with the dog park and sod, dogs run on the grass. Sod has slowly dwindled away. DeBuck Sod Farm has been amazing in helping us. They've honestly donated. All the sod that we've put down has been through donation. A huge kudos to them because they are a huge community supporter in doing that with us. But then the dog park family, I kind of reached out to a couple of them that I know and said, hey, you know what? I have 2 pallets of sod that can be dropped off this weekend. Is anybody available? And just like that, within a couple hours, they have a group of people out there ready to lay the sod down when the trucks drop it off in the morning. So, it's another wonderful way that our community can come together. It's a way that we can take care of something that, people don't want their dogs to get muddy. Well, let's go lay some sod down to try to cover up some of that mud. And they come together and they do it. So it's amazing that we can all work together and accomplish something like that.
Well, and I hope too, people, we know we all live in Michigan, so the weather is always crazy, but I always think of my family's always enjoyed the Black Creek Trail.
Yeah.
Whether it's on bike rides or, the Chamber, we host a 5K on there. But when winter comes, you guys work really hard to keep it clear. We're in Michigan, so there's only so much like ice that can be removed or snow.
Yeah.
But you guys try your best to make sure that everything is, cleaned up and work really hard to maintain everything. You mentioned the amount of properties and acreage that you guys work with. And you do have a very small team, and a lot of them are seasonal. So a lot of them are going either back to high school or going off to college.
Yep.
If anyone wants to volunteer, I am sure the parks team would love to have you find something you're passionate about. Even to volunteer for an hour would help out quite a bit at an event.
Yeah. Full well, you have volunteered many a times, either helping us put up Christmas lights. You've helped us with some things at Lake Callis. You've helped us in a couple of different aspects. So you well know that we do try our best. We only have one full-time maintenance, and Riley is amazing.
Oh, yes.
He's a jack of all trades. He,
he just made the rock gym mining.
Yeah, he did.
What is it called? It's like a water
mining,
plume.
He just built that. We had a donation sponsorship from Fernco to put that in the summer. So that was a new addition at Lake Callis this summer. And he built that from scratch. So, he has to work on repairing different things in our buildings. He has to do painting. He has to keep track of our grounds. He cleans in between our rentals. So he does an amazing thing. We also have a part-time maintenance worker that stays with us year round, and he does a great job. He helps us with the dog park, cleaning dog park, and working on some of the Black Creek Trail garbages and things like that. So very small maintenance staff. That's it for maintenance. And then there's just the three of us, Deanna, Vanessa, and myself, working on programs and events and rentals and all of that. And then our seasonal staff comes in and helps us in the summertime with Lake Callis and day camp and some maintenance, because obviously summer parks are a little bit busier. So it's small staff. We are small, but we are mighty.
You guys really are. You think about that. It's such a small staff that offers and organizes so many things.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked at it yet, but your fall winter guide, it is full of so many things that your small team is really focused on it and getting it organized. And you guys aren't just, sit there working from 8 to 4 or 9 to 5. You're having morning events, but then like the cooking class, it's in the evening. So, you guys have to change your schedules around a little bit, but you guys, I'm sure with Deanna saying, offering the cooking class and organizing it, it was no problem when she got ready and going to be there at night.
Yeah.
It was always full. I think the last month when we did it, there was 10 or 12 kids.
Yeah.
They're cooking. And I can't remember what we made, but we made everything from donuts to breads and pretzels and cookies. So they're learning all these things, but it's in the evening.
Yeah.
That way families can make it to it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of part of the recreation world is, we don't have a traditional 9 to 5 job. We are working weekends. We're working nights. If something happens in a park and needs to be taken care of, guess what? We're coming in at different hours.
Come in.
So, that's what it is. But we also get the joy of being able to offer amazing experiences for families and events.
You're creating those memories.
We are. And we get to create them ourselves. So when we participate in them, we're like, we have to get a family photo. We need our picture with Santa.
Well, and I think too that it's your work family, but also you're bringing your families in and involved. One, it's probably a way for them to spend more time with you, but you're also able to enjoy the Trail of Lights with your family and walk around with them, even if you're working for a little bit. Yep. So is your other team members. And I think that's the important part for people to realize too, that you're organizing it for the community, but you're also involving your families.
We are. And so, that's another way that we can be involved in the community is we're seeing what our families like and want and trying to create those experiences. I was born and raised in Davison, so I've been here for many years, and it's amazing, when I got the opportunity to come on as Parks Director, to be able to do something that I'm passionate about and something that I love right here in my hometown, and doing it, like you said, for not only like my immediate family, but my family as a community. It's just makes my job even that more exciting and motivates me to, want to do my best and provide what I can for our community.
I think that's evident with your whole team.
Oh, thanks.
As they love it all. So
we do.
And I know we've touched a little bit on it, but we'll kind of work on closing up a little bit of looking ahead. And so as we look beyond just the fall, are there any new initiatives or expansions planned for the parks? What are some other services that you guys are excited about? I mean, you've talked about more partnerships with the schools and the kind of the developments going on there. So what are some other things that you guys are really excited about, looking forward to going forward, that you can share with us?
Yeah, I would say I'm super excited about that STEAM Innovators program that we have coming up. Super duper excited about the Spark grant. I can't wait till that gets underway, having that bid out and knowing that that is one step closer to being done and being able to get some timelines to be able to release that to everybody will be very exciting. Once those bids come back, we'll have a timeline as to when contractors are available and can begin that process. Deanna's super busy right now booking school field trips as all the teachers went back into the school and they're looking at their calendars and when they want to do their field trips and looking at their curriculums, they're starting to reach out and you can start to see that Google document getting fuller and fuller. Our museum, having that open, we kind of announced that in April that was open now. It's open on Wednesdays and Fridays from 1 to 6. People can come out and they can tour the museum.
At the Williams property.
That is correct? At the Williams property, yep. So there's 2 museums in Davison, so this is not to be mistaken for the downtown one. The one that we oversee is actually the one out at the Williams property. And so again, that's open Wednesdays and Fridays from 1 to 6. And then 1 Saturday a month. And that was in conjunction with the Super Saturday. So those have Deanna has all kinds of events and activities going on with those Super Saturdays, from bringing your dog out and going on a walk first, and I think it's called Coffee and Canines. So you can come out and do that. You can come out and, like I said, do the Craft and Connect. You can also see the Nature Nook. We received a very generous donation from the Davison Chamber a couple weeks ago for $2,000. So that'll actually help us to enhance and glorify the Nature Nook. So we're going to build a better home for the animals that we have living out there. So you can come meet some salamanders and our turtle, and we have a snake and frogs and toads and all kinds of stuff. So we're just continuing to try to keep up with what the community is looking for and what the community wants, and coming up with those programs and events and ideas.
So it's a very exciting, busy.
It is.
The community benefits so much from it.
Yeah.
So we'll kind of finish up. Casey, remind everybody, if they want to sign up for one of the activities or events, or if they want to be like a vendor in an event or sponsor something, remind us, how can they get a hold of you guys and how can they sign up for things?
Yep. Again, so you can go to our website. It's dtparks.com. So it's for Davison Township Parks with an S.com. So dtparks.com. You can go onto our website. Most of the information's on there. If not, you can find all of our emails are on there. Our phone number's on there. It's 810-214-1810. So you can give us a call and we can help navigate you through whatever you're looking for. And we just hope that we see everybody out this winter and fall at all of the different programs and events. And, if you have an idea or partnership that you want to create with us, we'd love to hear from you too. We're always excited about new ways that we can get involved in the community and support each other.
Well, Casey Reed, Director of Davison Township Parks and Recreation, thank you so much for coming on the Community Collective podcast.
Yes, thank you so much for having me once again. I always love coming in and hanging out.